Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. I am Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group and the host of the Business Happy Hour, in studio with my incredible co-host, Senia Akishina. How we doing, Senia?
Hi, Frank.
Whoa.
School's back in.
Oh, dang it. I was hoping you had better news for me.
You know what? It's not the worst news, right? We get
It's
back
not.
into the routine and, this just helps speed things along.
Exactly.
Because now I'm like, oh my gosh, Christmas is probably going to come right around the corner.
Oh,
I've already
don't
seen
say that.
Halloween
Tomorrow
stuff.
is Halloween.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is Halloween, actually.
It's
It seems
over?
like it, yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if you walk into Lowe's, you think it is
really
Halloween.
is.
Yeah.
Why? Why is that? Why is tomorrow Halloween?
It's so much earlier. I mean, just like it's earlier and earlier every year.
And then Thanksgiving is like next week?
I know.
Oh,
It really
So it's
seems
not
like
just
it.
me, because it does seem like that. Every year they
100%.
start putting out the decorations earlier and
yeah?
earlier. And
Yeah. I exactly. Oh, by the way, that voice you guys just heard, that is Jim Wimsatt for Circuit Judge. That's right.
All
Welcome,
right.
Jim Wimsatt, to
Good
the show.
afternoon.
Yes. Now, quick side note. I've known Jim now. Jim, how long have we known each other?
Oh my gosh. I've known Lauren for 16 years, so I've probably known you for a little bit less than that.
Yeah.
I mean,
15
literally
and 3/4.
Yeah, exactly. A few weeks less
Yeah.
than I met Lauren.
So our wives
my
are
wife.
old, great friends, known each other. Matter of fact, I know Jim's wife. I won't tell all these stories, but I know the stories are going to make me look bad. Not full disclosure, they not make Lauren look bad. But no, I knew Lauren back at Ben Hill Junior High School. So any of you guys listening who are from Tampa, Ben Hill Junior High School, right there in the Carewood area. Lauren had her maiden name began with a C, and mine obviously Cotto. So she sat in front of me,
Yep.
right? So
I've heard these stories.
Yes, this is a blanket apology to all ladies who sat in front of me at any time in junior high school. Now, you couldn't have in high school unless there was something weird because I went to Jesuit. But junior high school, it was not good to sit behind Frank. Okay, let me just say, Frank was a little annoying. Maybe you think I'm annoying now, but I get paid sometimes to be annoying these
But
days.
he was that kid.
I was that kid, right? But the funny thing is, Lauren and I, we knew each other, right? And we stayed knowing each other, and then our wives became good friends, and I got to know you, of course.
Exactly.
And next thing you know, Jim's going to be a family law judge right here in Tampa. And
That's what we're trying to do here.
that is what we're trying to do. So before we get in with our normal show, of course, Jim's part of it. I want to encourage you guys to check out Jim's website if you have a little time as you're hopefully not driving. It's jimforjudge.com. Super easy, JIM, jimforjudge.com. A little later in the show, we're going to learn who Jim is, where he's from. Why would you run for judge, Jim? That's what
Why?
we're going to find.
It's crazy.
It does seem crazy.
It seems nuts.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. And we learned a lot last week from having Judge Liz Jack on the show. Senia and I, first time having anybody running for judge
That's
or
amazing.
being judge ever.
And now you're getting all of them.
I know. I thought it was
Word
hilarious.
spreads quickly.
It really did. I called Senia. I'm like, well, we have two judge candidates back to back. I was like, it's never happened. But I think it's perfect, though, because the election, Jim, am I right? Is it on the 18th?
Election of the 18th, and right now voter turnout for independents is pretty small.
Okay.
And really, because they think it's a primary, so they don't have somebody to vote for because they're not part of the party. But there are school board and judge elections are nonpartisan, and everybody can vote for those. And a lot of them are countywide, so we really need all those independents to get out there. Everybody should get out there and vote.
Yeah.
But right now, we just need to get higher turnout, get more people going. But there are races on this ballot, no matter what your party affiliation is, from everything from Republican, Democrat, non-party affiliated, Libertarian, whatever party you are, there's a race on there for you. So you really need to get out there and vote.
Okay, and I think a lot of people they don't realize that these what do we call these? They're not called midterms, right?
No,
What
just
are they
the midterm primary.
Midterm primary. That's what it's called. And I'm starting to see a lot of signs around town, Jim.
A lot of signs.
I just saw Jim's. I was telling him I was doing drop off at school, and
You
I
saw
saw a
Jim's sign?
sign. Yeah.
Oh, right. Now, what school was that?
Walker. And
Walker.
actually, I guess, yes,
Yep.
your son goes there, and his daughter just started at Alonzo. And she
Correct.
was at Walker.
All
She
right.
was a Walker, yep. And so, yeah, I got great volunteers. They get signs out everywhere.
Yes, that's
You know, my
good.
father-in-law, he's very
Randy?
he's very motivated.
Oh, he is the best.
He and Kathy are two of my biggest supporters. They're out there
They
right
are.
almost every day. Either one of them is out in a polling place right now with early voting going on, because there's election voting's going on right now, but they're out there waving signs and cheering me on and getting all the trucks to honk at them and wave and cheer.
So wait, when did early voting start?
Early
This?
voting started last Monday.
Last month.
So people have been voting for a week and a day, and early voting goes until Sunday, and then they take Monday off, and then everybody can vote on Tuesday at your normal polling place. But
Okay.
pretty much all the libraries right now are early voting locations. So all the regional libraries in Hillsborough County, you can go to right now and vote.
Now, here's an interesting. We're just getting right into judge and election stuff. Do you have to go to your normal polling place for this election, or is it different? Or?
For early voting, you can go to any of the libraries, any of the early voting places, but for the regular election next Tuesday on the 18th, you have to go to your normal polling place.
So on the way home today, I could literally stop by the library near my house and
Absolutely.
just vote.
You can stop by the library and vote.
I'm going to do that.
Please do.
Yeah, I am. I'm a big stickler on the whole election thing. Like, I feel like we got to have decisions on election day, right?
Yeah.
So I really would like to see more people early vote. And then I personally, Jim, and what do you think of this? I would like to see all election days, at least once a year. It is a federal holiday or state holiday.
Absolutely. It needs to be a holiday. It needs to be a day off, because people need to have the chance to vote. A lot of times people work different jobs, they work odd hours, they work different shifts, they work shift work.
And you see lines, and they can't even go because
Yeah.
they have to go before work or after work.
I know, it's so difficult.
No.
But luckily, we have really good election officials here in Hillsborough County, so they get the results out pretty quick.
They do.
Because again, we have a lot of early voting, and they're able to kind of get those votes processed early on, I think. So that helps. So they're kind of just processing the election day votes.
Yeah, so I think it is very, very important. It is probably one of the most important things we do as our civic duty.
Absolutely.
And yet our government doesn't really treat it that way because of the holiday thing.
Yep.
I mean, for the love of God, just even a half a day.
Yep.
Just give people the chance to get out and vote.
Get it on the ballot, guys.
Right.
Come on.
And then I think that would also put a little bit of an onus on our government, right, to make sure that we have results.
Yeah.
If they're saying, hey, everybody's got to get out and vote today.
Get results on election day.
It is. Hey, by the way, Jim, when we were walking into the studio, I heard somebody say they voted for you. No
Awesome.
joke.
Awesome.
So I don't know if judge voting and voting in general is like everything else, where like the first one's the hardest one. You got one, Jim.
I know. I appreciate it. I'm trying to get all the early votes I can, bank as many as possible before election day, and then we'll see what we can do on election day too.
Is it weird that I brought a ballot box in here? Is that
Well, we're going to kind of ignore that one.
Yeah. Don't use Frank the Bank's ballot box. It doesn't count, I don't think. But anyway, we love having you on there. So Sen and I, what we do on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Senna is a real estate agent with Mahar & Associates. Obviously, I own the mortgage company. We always do statistics in the beginning.
Cool.
So chime in on this if you got anything good or bad. But Senna, are you surprising me today? Is it the what do we got?
Well, I still don't have my July numbers,
Okay.
which I'm
Oh,
always
I'm so
curious
excited.
for, the month that passed. But the June numbers, we've gone over it a couple of times. For single family homes, I decided to pull the condo and townhome market.
Ah, okay.
And I was actually a bit surprised with those.
So, Jim, just so you know, and for the listeners, what Cynia does is she pulls data year over year. So she's looking at June 25 to July 25. I'm sorry, to June 25. And we're seeing what changed up or down because, and please give us your opinion when she does this, because a lot of times clickbait. You go in there and you like, oh my God, everybody's in foreclosure. The sky is falling. And then we come on and talk to Cynia and she's like, that's not true. So anyway, Sen, what happened?
Yeah. So single family homes, and this is why I usually preface it. Like I don't combine the numbers because the condo market's just been different.
Yep.
So they're just completely separate things. They skew the numbers if you add the two. But for the condo market in Pinellas County, I was surprised to see, and actually this is both Hillsborough and Pinellas, their closed sales volume was up by over 16.5% year over year.
Whoa.
So that's a good thing. The median sale price in Pinellas was up by over 11%.
Wow. Those are
And
good
that's
numbers.
at $295,000. And in Hillsborough, it was down by 4.4%.
What was that, the median sale price?
Median sale price. So they're at $270,000. But I do think the concentration of condos is definitely, a lot more in Pinellas.
Right.
So I thought those were great. But for you, for comparison, because we do talk about inventory a lot.
Yep.
So in Hillsborough and Pinellas, for single family homes, we've been under 4 months supply.
Wow.
So to put that in perspective for you, in Pinellas County, they're at 7 months supply.
Still at 7 months supply.
Still at 7
Now, is that
months
just
supply,
condos?
but it's almost 19% lower year over year.
Oh, God. So inventory still is going down then? Because they had a crap load of inventory
in
probably after
Pinellas, and they're a
hurricanes.
little bit, mixed between Hillsborough and Pinellas. So in Hillsborough County, the condo market's at 5.5 months supply. But basically, I don't want you to get too excited to say, hey, condo market's becoming hot again. What I think is probably happening is that because they've already been going through this for a few years, I think the correction is just starting to take effect. Things are, stabilizing. And I mean, if you're comparing a median sale price of $295,000 to, what is it, $480,000 for a single family home in Pinellas, like that could be a factor as well.
So to consumers, I want to make a quick point about single family versus condo, because a lot of people are like, well, I want to get a condo because it's cheaper or there's less upkeep or less maintenance. Here's what I want you to think about when you think of upkeep and maintenance. The money is not necessarily going to be cheaper with a condo. And I'll tell you why. It's because these association fees.
Yep.
Because of all the new laws and the rules and reserves and all that, association fees a lot of them are approaching $1,000 a month.
It's crazy.
It is. To put that in perspective, $100,000 30-year fixed mortgage, $100,000 at a rate of like 6%, let's say 6.25%. Your payment's going to be approaching $600 a month. It's like $550 a month. Well, wait a minute. If my association fee is $550 a month, that means I can actually afford $100,000 more on my mortgage. Right? I know I got 30 seconds real quick. So taking that to another level, if it's $1,000 HOA fee, guys, that's $200,000 of purchase power. So you really got to think, is the lawn maintenance and the water bill going to make up for that $1,000 difference? Is it really that you want less work or the payment? Because it's kind of equal.
It's a trade-off.
It is a trade-off. Exactly. So I'm going to leave you guys with that to think about. When we get back, we're going to dive into these stats for a couple more minutes. Talk about school being back. Jim, Senny, and I all share a problem. It's called freshmen. We'll be back in just a minute to talk about our freshman problem. No, wait, yours is not a freshman, or she is a freshman?
No, last year of 8th grade.
Last year of 8th grade.
But I just remember that even starting middle school, I don't think that's as scary as starting high school. So I've been talking to like the, first day high schoolers. How was it? What'd you think?
Yeah.
The recurring one I got is that, oh my God, there's so many people. Like one girl showed me a picture of the hallway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes.
That's a good point. Middle school. So and we'll talk about, we'll save it for the air, but when we get back, yours changed schools, right?
Change schools, yeah. Which ones?
And yours will change schools to go into a high school, too.
Yeah, next year.
So let's talk about that. When we get back, let's talk about the size and stuff, because that's a shock, I think, for kids. Mine, she wanted to change schools. But anyway, we'll talk about that. All right, well, go ahead and fire us.
All the best mortgage or real estate advice from Tampa Bay's top experts. It's the Business Happy Hour with Frank the Bank Cotto and Senia Kishina.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour, your number one show for all things business and entrepreneurial. Thank you for all of our watchers on Instagram. And don't forget, if you're listening on the radio on Saturday or Sunday, we are Instagram live every Tuesday. We usually get started, what do you think? It's about 10 after 11 or so.
We try.
Yeah,
if we don't have Instagram issues.
Right, exactly. I will make you an 11:15 start time guarantee every Tuesday, because James is smiling over there. He's like, because you got to be out of the office, out of the studio at noon.
You are fake news.
Yeah, no. Dang it, where did that voice come from? Anyway,
From the heavens.
We're trying to talk to our Instagrammers, but seriously, like and share us on Instagram. Send us out there. Every week we do real estate statistics. We always have a great guest on for you, back-to-back weeks with judge candidates, which is amazing. And I just learned that I can early vote right now. So when I leave here, my lunch appointment canceled. I'm going to go vote. I'm going to find the library.
Awesome.
And I'm going to go vote. I might even check out a book. You never know. Jim, I'm going to use the Dewey Decimal System.
Oh my gosh!
Do you remember
They still
what that
have
was?
that.
They do
Do
not.
they? I think so. Yeah, there's still the books. You can look them up, but they still give you the Dewey Decimal number.
You got to be kidding me.
No.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, wait. I forgot to tell you, Senny is a little younger than us, Jim.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what the Dewey Decimal
No,
System
what is that?
You didn't have all the cards in the library?
It was the thing in the library when you went to check out a book.
Yeah.
You had to go to the thing first and find look up the book, right? And
Yeah, you had
find
to look up the books for like all by alphabetical order.
Yeah.
And like these card drawers, and there was just like a dozen of them with different every letter, and then you have to go
yes, I
find the
remember
letter.
it. Okay, I didn't remember what it was called. I
And
got
then you find the number.
Then the number,
and it
right.
would be like 123.5 4, 9, 12, 13, and you're like,
I can only find 0.44. I can't
know.
find 4.3. It's like, are you kidding me? And then we would check these books out and go home and stink them up and bring them back to the library. I just remember every time you'd open a library, being like, geez, that house, they were a smoker. These guys liked coffee. These guys like, okay. Anyway, my kids today are probably like, you touched books that other kids touched. Anyway, so let's finish up stats here since we're talking about decimals, and then I want to go into this thing that we all share. At least Jim and I do, and you've got this coming, this little problem we call freshmen. But how about the stats? What else do we learn from these stats from last week?
Well, other than the condos, which I was a little bit surprised about because I know there were changes and loans for condos as well. But I mean, these numbers for June seem pretty optimistic for condos.
They sure do.
But yeah, to go back over the single family home numbers, we were up slightly in median sale price by 1.2% in Hillsborough, 5.5% in Pinellas. And that puts Hillsborough $445,000 and Pinellas $480,000 for the median sale price.
So, Jim, the point to this is the clickbait is not true.
no, it's not.
Everybody says, Jen, here's something. I'm going to throw this out there. I know you don't have it in front of you, but I would love next week. I know we're probably going to have our July stats.
I hope so.
But can we dispel, can you look this up? Can you see how many foreclosures there are in the market? Is that something that your data pulls? I'd love to talk about that next week because that's the thing we see online. Foreclosures that are all-time high. And then I read something that's like they're at less than 1%.
Yeah, I don't see that many.
I don't see.
Well, I know that
'cause
national number I pulled out last month. I mean, it's set at what, 1%.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. You pulled out the 1% one. So let's see if we can nail down some local foreclosure data.
Okay.
I think I'd love to dispel that rumor for everybody. Anyway, anything else on stats we need to touch on?
No, I guess that's it. So let's move on to Jim.
All right. So we're gonna talk real quick about this problem we've got. So Jim and I, we share this problem called freshmen.
Freshman year.
We both have freshman girls.
Yep.
And-
Freshman girls. So my daughter started yesterday. Luckily, she joined the cross country team. So it was crazy though because she graduated 8th grade on a Friday.
Okay.
That night, they had the athletic meeting for like the school, for the high school. So she had like no transition, like literally hours later.
Isn't this a brand new school?
No, it's Alonzo.
No. I mean, but she came out of middle school and went into a high school.
Into a high school, yeah. Brand new school for her. And they're like having a meeting the day she graduates. And then she's been in practice, pretty much the entire summer. So they've been doing like voluntary practices. But so it's great because she's met a lot of kids. So she's met some friends and things like that. But it's a big adjustment because I think the school sizes are just so much different. And she said her lunch period is insane because it's like all the different grades.
Yeah.
And it's everybody there. And it's nuts. So I think that it's a huge adjustment for them.
Isn't that what one of your friends said? The same Sen said about
Yes. One of my daughter's friends went to high school. Her first day was yesterday. I'm like, how was it? She showed me a picture of just this crowd. I mean, it just looked like people traffic in the hallway. So yeah, that was, but she said it was fun. And high school's fun. I just think it's also scary going into it as a freshman.
As a freshman.
I think so, yeah.
A lot of times you're kind of the short guy.
Yeah.
You look at all these people. Jim, you remember the show 21 Jump Street?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Do you know that show, Sam?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, I thought totally it was outdated.
Well, because they had a movie that came out.
Oh, that's the one I know.
That's why a lot of people remember
I know
it.
the remake.
That's where the millennials know it from. They don't know the television
I know the
show
Channing
back
Tatum
in the
one.
day.
Yeah, the Channing Tatum one.
Exactly.
Who was the actor in the original?
Oh,
it was
gosh,
like
I don't
Depp
remember.
or something. I don't know. It was like somebody like way back in the day. But that's what I'm picturing when y'all are saying this. I'm just picturing 21 Jump Street and this big rough high school and people are running through and the gang members and all. Hopefully there's not gangs in Tampa. But anyway.
Well, luckily, my daughter, she's in Alonzo, but she's in the IB program, so it's a separate bell schedule, and it's a little bit of a smaller feel in terms of the classroom.
Yes.
But still, the overall volume of students there is just so huge that I think it just is overwhelming.
Does that mean that they get beat up by a different group of kids?
They do, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
It's not the same.
It's a different group of jocks in the IB program.
I knew it.
But she's a jock, so it works out.
That's true. So she's doing the beating. I understand how that works. No, it's exciting. So my daughter started freshman actually this morning.
Oh, wow.
Right? And so I don't have the report yet. I don't know, but she's stayed at the same school, right? So I don't think it's going to be the same.
Oh, see, yeah, that's different.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not.
It's like you're just in a different building or a different part of the school.
Pretty much, yeah. They walk. They get out of the car to the right instead of the left.
Yep.
Pretty much. I don't know, but it's exciting, I think, for all of us, but stressful. But Jim, you said something a minute ago about this other stress.
Oh yeah. So my daughter, she has an August birthday, so she started a little. We kind of had her do kindergarten twice, so she just turned 15. Luckily, she's a little bit behind on her driver's ed course because I swear, if she gets her driver's license or permit before the 18th, before this election, I might have a heart attack. My opponent might win the election by default because if she's driving around and I have to be in the car with her, I don't know that I would be able to handle it, the whole teaching driving thing. My sister taught me how to drive, and I really want to import her back down here for the next few months to teach my daughter to drive because it's going to be, she's a wonderful kid, but I don't know that she's going to listen to me very much, and it's a scary, scary thing.
I knew we got to take a break. I'm going to endorse Jim on he knows how to drive very well. How I get this, we have not been in the car a ton together, but I have never felt in danger when I'm in the car, and that's how you gauge somebody. It's if your cortisone goes up and it's fight or flight when you're sitting in the passenger seat, this guy was not taught by his sister. Right? So anyway, and that's my son's not bad. I told my daughter, she's going to be a better driver than my son. She's been practicing since she's 14.
Yeah.
My son basically got in a car and drove away. And
I think girls for sure. I think girls are better drivers.
Oh, here we go. The debate continues. We're going to take a break here. Whether girls are better drivers or not, we're going to learn about Jim Wimsatt and why the heck he is running for family law. Stay tuned to the Business Happy Hour. You need a drink or anything?
Water would be great.
Let me get you a water.
Sorry.
Yep. I saw your mouth was dry, so I figured that happens to me.
I think I was talking to somebody. I don't think it was Frank, but there's people for hire, right? Like driving tutors?
Yeah. You can hire a
thing,
driving school or something like that. I did that too as well, but my sister did most of it. I just think that, because I think I did the course because you got a discount on your insurance rates.
Okay.
So.
But that's scary. So.
But the online course is very long. I thought it was pretty short, but she's been doing it for weeks and weeks and weeks. So.
Okay.
I'm glad it's a little bit of a.
I don't know how much you really get online. I mean, it's really just the practical. You got to get in the car.
I think you got to get in the car and drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was asking us, she's like, do you have a primary care technician? I was like, those are words that I've never heard put together.
Primary care technician.
For your car. So a primary care, like doctor.
Oh,
she's like,
I see.
The class, the literature, they're like, you should have a primary care mechanic or technician to take care of your car who knows it regularly. I'm like, no, we don't have one of those. We just take it to the dealership.
Yep. For sure. Are you going to buy her a car?
Yeah, we'll get her something. We'll probably.
So at 16,
I don't know if it's be right at 16.
Is that the expectation still for kids? Hey,
I think
as soon
it
as
is.
they turn 16, I get a car.
Yeah. I think a lot of it's because the parents just want to make their lives easier too.
That's true. That's the one part that's exciting. I'm like, I can't wait for you to, either chauffeur me around. I've also got a young one that's 4.5.
Oh wow, yeah. So.
And then I think he'll be going to the school that's right next to hers. So I'm like, oh.
Perfect.
At least if
Where
I
should
can
you
get
go to
that
high
off
school?
my plate. Steinbrenner.
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
School.
Boom. I couldn't do this whole show for an hour.
Thank you. Sorry.
I don't know how you have your drink.
I have, yeah.
All right.
I always come with my big cup.
Yeah. All right, let's get into judging. Let's judge the judge.
Yes.
Welcome to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, the owner of Lincoln Lending Group right here in Tampa Bay for 23 years. Joined by his incredible co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates, Tampa's top real estate company. Together, they have helped finance and close nearly $1 billion of real estate every year. If you're looking for local mortgage or real estate advice, the Business Happy Hour team has been right here on News Radio WFLA for over a decade. Listen right here or find us on the Business Happy Hour YouTube channel or follow us on Instagram at Frank the Bank Cotto. Now sit back, relax, and get ready for some serious mortgage, real estate, and business talk with two of Tampa's top experts. Here's Frank the Bank and Senia.
All right, Tampa Bay, welcome back to the Business Happy Hour. Jim, you have some possible future voters who just logged in. You know, one of my favorite thing to do, a lot of the Jesuit boys at lunch, they will jump on and watch the Business Happy Hour because they got nothing better to do than to watch the Business Happy Hour. So soon to be voters by next year. This could be a whole new crew of voting.
It could be, absolutely.
It could be. But wait a minute. When you become judge, when you become judge,
exactly.
How long are you judge for?
6 years. It's a 6-year term, and then you have to run. You have to run again. But I went to Jesuit boys. I went to an all boys high school as well.
That's
I went to a place called St. Xavier High School in Louisville, Kentucky.
Yes.
An all boys. About 1,000 students. Catholic high school. It was great.
Yeah, it is awesome. You know, when you're young and you're like all boys, you're like, I don't want to do that. But when you look back, you're like, dude, that was fun.
You're like, that was a lot of fun.
It was. I mean, there's stuff we can do in class that we wouldn't do in front of you girls, and not going to make any things up here. But anyway, jimforjudge.com. That's where I want you guys to go, jimforjudge.com. Cindy and I have a bunch of questions for Jim. He is running for family law. The family law seat is how this is working,
basically,
right?
the way it works out is, and the reason why I'm running is a little different than the rest of the candidates.
Yeah, tell us.
Other candidates who are in Hillsborough County, all three of them have pretty much wanted to be a judge their entire career. That's kind of how they set up their lives. They set up their careers to kind of take this next step. I didn't plan on running for judge until basically a year ago last March.
I will attest, you have never spoken that.
I know.
I've never heard you say you want to be a judge.
And so I'm on the executive council for the family law section, which is like the kind of the family law in the Hillsborough County Bar Association. We kind of oversee the family law lawyers. We put on a bunch of programming for them. But I'm on that executive council, and we had a meeting a year ago, March, and one of the judges was there, and she was like, listen, there's 4 judges retiring this cycle. And the way that it works in Hillsborough is that all the newest judges, as soon as they're elected, go to the family law division.
Why?
There's 8 family law. I'll get to it. There's 8 family law judges. And so I was like, 4 judges coming in. That's going to be half of our bench being replaced.
Yeah.
And the way that it works in Hillsborough, at least, is that family gets all the newest judges, and we have great judges, but very few of them want to serve in the family law division long term. So we get as soon as they get elected, they go to family, and then as soon as they have any seniority, they transfer out to civil, criminal, probate, somewhere else, because family is messy. It's hard. There's a huge docket of people who don't have lawyers. You're not like the criminal division where you're going to have the same 2 lawyers in front of you for 75% of the cases because you have a public defender and a prosecutor. Civil cases,
so
you're mostly just
know how everything's going to work.
You know who the people, you know it's going to work. It's pretty cut and dry. You're just kind of, if you're doing criminal, you're kind of just dealing with jury selection and just kind of making sure, calling balls and strikes and discovery disputes. Civil, you're just kind of doing discovery disputes. You're not doing a ton of trials. Family, you're doing trials, you're doing bench trials constantly, evidentiary hearings constantly, and it's emotional. It's hard work. Yeah. So there's few judges that want to do it, but the problem is that really shows up, and our clients can tell because these are your kids, your money, everything that keeps you up at night. Family law cases or divorce, paternity, things like that, adoption. So it's stuff that keeps you up at night, keeps you, it's hard for people. So they can tell when the judge doesn't want to be there. They can feel it. Yeah. And some of the judges are kind of vocal about it too, unfortunately. So
I've got stuff to do today.
So I was just like, I was kind of in despair that there was all these judges retired. It's going to be half our bench. It's going to settle our cases back. And I was like, well, rather than just complain about it, let's try to do something about it. So that's why I decided to run. I talked to some judges. I talked to some attorneys. I was like, hey, is this the craziest thing you ever heard in your entire life? And everybody's like, no, that makes sense. We think you'd be good at it. So I got a lot of encouragement, and jimforjudge.com was available. So, I was like, well, why not take advantage of it? So I registered the domain and signed up. And then I've been running since then. I officially qualified in April, which was April 24th, which would have been my dad's 100th birthday.
Oh my God, Jim.
It was the last day of qualifying, so I was nervous. All my paperwork had to be perfect on that day. But I got it in, and it worked out really well. But
you're an attorney, so I figure you have to be accountable.
But so the reason why I'm running is just a little bit different. It's because we need judges in the family law division who will serve there long term. So I told the chief judge, if I'm lucky enough to get elected, if I'm blessed enough to get elected, keep me in that division my entire career. I'm happy to serve there. Keep me there from the beginning to the end because we need long-term judges. We've had a couple who've stuck around for 6-7 years, and it makes a big difference. Wow. The clients feel better, the cases run better, the dockets run smoothly. I've got a lot of ideas about how to make dockets run smoother and stuff like that, but really we just need that change of judges who want to be in the division long term, and so that's why I'm running. It's totally different than the other candidates. You're not going to hear anybody else say this. And again, you're not going to hear them say that they've wanted to be a judge their entire life, but they've wanted to be a judge their entire life. I'm doing it for a little bit different reason. Well, that's not necessarily a better thing or a worse thing. It's just a different reason than the other candidates. It makes me a little off to the edge.
Yeah. I bet for attorneys, that's a huge bonus because as an attorney, I can't imagine you'd want to switch over and judges every few
Exactly.
years,
The family law judges, the family law attorneys are really happy about. They love to hear what I'm saying, and even the civil and criminal attorneys are appreciative of it too because they want the judges who want to be in their division to stay there. They don't want to lose judges that are really good at civil or really good at criminal that have to get sent to family for some reason.
Just like the judge gets used to working with these good experienced attorneys, you guys get used to working with the judge, and then it's just
and then it transfers out in 2 years or 3 years. It's a constant. Like these family law cases too, they come back to court a lot. So if you have the same judge there, because there's a lot of post-dissolution, post-judgment things that come back.
Then a whole new judge comes in.
Then there's a whole new judge. They don't know the history. They don't remember it. So that's why having continuity in the courts, in the family courts, is extremely important. So, some states have separate family courts entirely, where they have a separate family division and just elect judges for that. We don't do that, but we just elect them to generally for the circuit, but
Right.
I'm willing to serve that division. There's never been a single judge who's asked to serve in the family division who they've said no to. So I know that I'll be in there, and I'm happy to do it.
Man, Jim, this is awesome. I think that is a great thing. I remember we had Judge Jack on last week, and by the way, so you guys understand, they're not running against each other.
Correct.
She's in Pinellas, he's in Hillsborough. I can't even vote for Judge Jack, but I get to vote for Jim. Yeah, I was where I was going with this. But this is what it was. I remember at the end of the show, we both said to Judge Liz Jack, we said, we feel like you actually care. Like you actually want to help these people, and that's exactly what I hear out of Jim. But Jim just made a campaign promise of all campaign promises. He's like, I'm going to stay there as a family law. But that's also what Liz Jack was basically saying, the same thing as you. I would have thought, just a kind of a neophyte to the judicial system, that the criminal side would actually be harder than the family, but it's not.
No, it's not. The family is really the kind of the most emotional, kind of hardest. And Judge Jack is a great judge. I've had a lot of cases in front of her in my career, and she has always done an excellent job. She's always been fair. She's always treated my clients with respect and dignity, which is the most I can ask for. Because that's the other problem, is that when a judge doesn't want to be in that division, sometimes their demeanor is like not necessarily the best towards the litigants. They get a little bit short with them, a little bit sharp with them, and again, I joked. I said this to you on the way in, and you kind of thought it was a joke, but it's serious. Being a judge is a service job. It's not a job. Everybody thinks a judge, a big, powerful guy sitting on a bench, or a guy or woman sitting on a bench making decisions and stuff like that. No, we're here to serve the lawyers and their clients.
Right.
We're here to do the efficient administration of justice to get these cases resolved in an efficient and
timely,
decent,
manner.
Equitable manner. And that's what the job is. It's not to be on a power trip. And a lot of the judges, unfortunately, forget that. And I'm not, trying to call anybody out, but it's just a fact of life. And so if you don't want to be there, sometimes that shows up. So that's why I want to, be there and be there long term.
Man. All right. Hey, by the way, do you know where your name is on the ballot?
My name is the very end.
Is it the very bottom?
The judicial races are pretty much, I think we're above the school board races this year. Yeah. But it'll be, I'm in group 13, so it's the second group. There's two groups, group 7 and group 13, so it's the second group, and I'm the second name on the ballot. So you got to kind of go to the bottom, find the W. That's why, Wimsatt's a little bit hard. That's why Jim for judge is a little bit easier. I think I'm the only Jim on the ballot. I'm the only Jim on any of your ballots.
Okay.
So if you just vote for Jim for judge.
Jim for judge is all we got to know. No, I was wondering, because that's kind of a thing. Like we were talking about ballot placement and things like that, and I'm like, well, we didn't ask Liz, so I might as well ask Jim where the heck he is. So that's just go to the end, and I can find you.
Go to the end, you can find me.
That's awesome. Okay, that's good to know. Now, do I get a sticker when I go?
Absolutely.
All right.
You 100% get a sticker.
I'm getting a
sticker. They got some good stickers this year.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, what I was saying earlier, there's a lot of Jim Wimsatt for judge signs out there, but I've seen a lot of voting signs too, just reminding us that you can vote on the 18th, and I thought that was really neat.
I know that both parties have been putting signs out pretty heavily to kind of just promote people, get people to vote, because these midterm elections, especially the primaries for the midterms, we get really low percentages, less than 25%.
Right.
And and especially the independents. Again, the independents think there's nobody to vote for, and so they don't show up, not realizing that this is the final election for judges and the final election for school board oftentimes. It's not necessarily going to go to November. The judge races are not going to November because there's only 2 candidates, so one of us will get over 50%. So that's how it works.
Okay.
Because they're nonpartisan races. Same as the school board, it's a nonpartisan race. So if there's only 2 candidates, one of them is going to get more than 50%, and they are going to be your school board representative. And if you're an independent and you don't vote during that, you're losing one of the big, nonpartisan races to vote on. So that's where we're really pushing independents to get out there and vote.
Now, school board members, they're not partisan either, right?
Correct.
Okay. Nobody's really partisan on this ballot.
Yeah. Well, there'll be partisan. There'll be, the governor. There'll be the governor primary. The state senate primaries, the congressional primaries. There's some very contested primaries on there, but the nonpartisan races are at the end of the ballot, and everybody can vote on those. If you're an independent, you'll have those races on there to vote for.
Got it, man. Jim, we'll see. We got about a minute left in the segment. I know we've got some questions that we're going to bring back from last week, but what did I want to hit him with before? Actually, what I'd like you to touch on, and we can bring it up in the next segment, is just kind of your pathway. I'd like to tell everybody as soon as we get back from the break, where'd you come from?
Absolutely.
I know you came from a really big family.
Which big family.
In today's world is not normal.
It's one of the biggest you'll hear of, probably.
Oh, I think so. So you're going to stay tuned, you guys. You're going to find out how big was Jim's family, and then what number child Jim was.
Which one am I?
Which one is he? I'll tell you what you do, though. You go to jimforjudge.com while we're waiting, and you check it out, or you can just find him on the bottom of the ballot, which is the easiest place to find Jim for Judge. We're going to be back in the Business Happy Hour in just a minute. Before we leave, Senny, you're so quiet.
I know. I'm like trying to think.
Oh, so we've got questions.
I'm already guessing the child.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to guess before
Yes,
he
I'm like,
says
how
it.
big's the family and where are you at?
We'll see.
So you'll guess
do
how big,
predictions.
and then you'll guess the number, and that's what we'll do when we get back. But remember, guys, the 1% special, 1% off your interest rate ends on August 30th. You got to lock before then. Stay tuned. We'll be back with Jim for Judge. These boys are messing with
That was great.
So you said you're from Louisiana, Kentucky?
Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah.
Kentucky.
Louisville.
Okay.
Louisville, Kentucky.
How long have you been here?
16 years.
Okay.
I was in DC. I went to law school in DC, and then practiced up there for a little bit, and then moved down here.
What was the move about? Why did you do it?
So I had a volunteer for some work that I did that had a house down in South Tampa, and my parents coming on the Salem-ville a lot. I thought they might retire down here, so I was like, if I ever want to practice, I'd take the entire Florida bar exam all over, because Florida's very protective. So I was like going to move here for 3 months, take the Florida bar exam, and then move back north. And I just fell in love with the area. I fell in love with the people, the culture, everything. So
Okay.
Man, that was good. And remember, you're on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
So I was going to stop you if you wanted to. But listen, Jim for Judge doesn't have anything bad to say, so you don't have to worry about it.
absolutely not.
You just got the behind the scenes. All right, we're ready, James. All right. Jim, anything? We got to hit it.
Let's get back to the Business Happy Hour radio show with your host, Frank the Bank Cotto, owner of Lincoln Lending Group, and his co-host, Senia Akishina, realtor with Mahara and Associates.
All right, before we get into the question about Jim and how big is his family and what number is Jim, I got to remind you guys one more time, we have that mortgage special, Senia, this is for all your clients, 1% off of your mortgage rate.
That's big.
That's right, on a purchase. Any 30-year fixed mortgage, I'm going to give you 1 full % off for the first year free at Lincoln Lending Group. You have to lock by the 30th. What does that really mean? If you qualify for 6.375, you're going to get 5.375 for the first year. It's going to buy you at least 2 or 3 years of runway to be able to refinance when the rates do eventually go down, which we know they will as soon as the conflict is over. So one day this is going to end and our rates are going to go down and everything's going to be roses and unicorns and ponies and stuff. So
Yes. To get that locked in, though, they got to call me so we can go find that house.
how do they call you?
They call me at 813-755-REAL.
I lied. 813-755-REAL. You get with Senia, find the house. We'll get the mortgage. You get 1% off. And before all of that, you go vote for Jim today at your closest library. Vote Jim for Judge. So, Jim, Senia's going to guess. I'm just going to say this. Jim comes from a very large family, and we're talking siblings, right? First guess, Sen, how many brothers and sisters does he have?
Oh, gosh. I mean, you said really large, so let's say 12.
Oh.
That was right
That's
on. I am the last of 13, or I'm the 13th.
13.
Oh, wow.
Can you believe that? I can't believe you
Okay.
got that. Holy crap.
That was right on.
Only because me and my daughter were talking, like somebody, one of her grandmas, she was one of 15.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
Now-
the only reason. I'm like, that is unheard of.
But that's a grandma that's one of 13. My
Right,
grandma was like
right.
one of 9.
Well,
but this is crazy.
But my parent, I'm the last of 13, so
Yeah.
my oldest brother is in his 70s. So
Wow.
my parents, my dad would have been 100 this year. My mom just turned 90. So
Yeah.
they are the kind of the age of grandparents, but they were still very active when I was young. And there was it was a huge family. It was always a lot of fun. There's a huge range of ages, but my parents joke because there's about 10 years between my closest sibling and I that I was the only child they ever planned on having. Because a big Catholic family, everybody else was unplanned. Like,
Yeah.
I was the one that they actually planned on having.
They're like-
But it was great because I grew up with all these nieces and nephews who were like right around my age, and so
Yeah.
we all grew up we were like brothers and sisters who just went home to different houses at night.
Yeah.
We spent all our time together, but just slept separately.
For real. Like
Yeah.
you must have gotten some love, Jim.
Oh,
Because,
yeah,
you're
absolutely.
all these brothers and
Well,
sisters in there. And
I
you're
get a
the
love,
baby.
but it's 8 older sisters, which is like having 9 moms at times. So one of my sisters was like, "Hey, when I turned 16, her idea for a birthday present for me." A birthday present from me to the family for my birthday. I don't know what to say to that, but it was, why don't I let each one of them control my life for a month? They're like, there's 12 of us. Each one of us will control it for a month, and we'll make all your decisions. It'll be perfect. And I was like, there's one of you, maybe 2 that I would trust with that. But no, they're all wonderful. They're all great. All of my one brother has passed away, but the rest of us are still with us, which is great. And there's just Christmas is a lot of fun. The holidays are a lot of fun.
I can imagine.
Lauren's been amazing, and Lauren's parents are amazing. They let us go up there for Christmas every year. They have no complaints because they understand that it is.
Well, it's either
a special
70
thing.
people coming here
you
or
mean like
2
the
go
whole
there.
family?
We'll get them all out here.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we get almost everybody gets together because a lot of them have spread out originally, but a lot of them have moved back to the Louisville area where I grew up. So
Is
that's
anybody
been
in
fun.
Florida, or are you the only?
No, I have one sister who lives down in Sarasota, and then one sister who kind of splits time between New York and the Panhandle.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah,
Dang.
so I get to
man.
see them, but we all go back for Christmas, and we have a great time. But
I can only imagine that.
But that was that was the family that kind of launched me into the legal world and kind of made me who I am today. It's my father and kind of his faith and everything that he instilled in all of us, and then just kind of dealing with all those different people, all those different personalities.
Oh my God.
All the different
That makes
kind
sense.
of.
Exactly. It all just came full circle.
Is anyone else in the family in the legal arena?
No, nobody else in the legal arena. My dad had a law degree, but he was a small businessman. He had a building materials company. And, we were big believers in child labor and keeping it in the family. So I was sweeping warehouses from age 7 on. I eventually, I moved up to driving forklifts and running forklifts for him. And so that's what I did until basically I went to college was, working warehouses. So I grew up, with hard work, built into me from the very beginning. So I'm ready for this job and ready to go.
I never ever put 2 and 2 together on Jim Wimsatt, family law judge. Had 12 brothers and sisters. You already have gone through every case.
Yeah. You have so much conflict resolution experience.
Yeah.
That's
and hold on. And your parents remained married as well.
Yeah.
So clearly Jim knows the secret, and maybe it's having kids. I don't know. Lord, Jim, my gosh. Yeah, your parents, wonderful people, stayed together all those years.
They're wonderful.
I mean,
they're amazing. So they did a great job raising us, and they set me up. And, I went to an all-Catholic high school. I was lucky enough to go to Georgetown, the preeminent Catholic law school in D.C.
Yeah.
I practiced up there for a while. And before I moved down here, I was supposed to move down to Tampa for 3 months to take the Florida bar exam. And I fell in love with it 16 years ago. Fell in love with the people, the atmosphere, the culture, the food, everything. And then I met Lauren, my wife.
I was going to say, then you fell in love.
And I fell in love, and she's never lived north of Gainesville.
No.
So I was not going anywhere. That's as far north as I was going to go. But I like I said, I didn't want to go anywhere because I loved it here. And we're raising our family here. My son's a Boy Scout. I'm a Boy Scout leader.
Nice.
This is where I love to be. So.
All right, so we need the Boy Scout votes. We need the high school votes.
Cross country and track and field votes.
You're going to get the business happy hour votes. We're going to get some iHeart votes over here. Guys, listen, if you're driving down the road right now, I challenge you, find a library. I'm sure they have signs, right, Jim?
Yeah, there's
I bet, yeah.
There's a ton of political signs out in front of everybody. They got all the candidate signs are out there.
Yeah, there you go. Find a library, because that's what I'm going to do. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. As soon as we leave here, we're going to get a picture with Jim. I'm going to go to Chicken Salad Chick, get myself a little tub of chicken salad. Then I'm going to find a library. Is where I'm going to go. Then
In Hillsborough County.
In Hillsborough County.
County.
That is the key. Jim, we only have a minute left. What else should we leave everybody with? I mean, you've been a great attorney. You come from a great big family. You've practiced family law your entire life, and you had no idea. And now you actually want to serve us and do it.
Exactly. Well, I think, again, that it's just my story is a little different than everybody else's story. And the reason why I want to run is a little bit different than everybody else's. And so I just ask people to consider that and kind of look me up. I'd love to have their votes because it's going to be a close election. It's a hard fought election, but I love a challenge. I hiked the Grand Canyon rim to rim in 12 hours with 2 of those nephews that I have. Ooh. And it was just absolutely amazing. And so that's, a challenge is what I love. And so this is what this race is, and we're ready to go.
We got your back, Jim.
That's
it's
awesome.
JimForJudge.com. We did not leave any time for these crazy questions we were gonna ask Jim, but we can always have him back on after he
Absolutely,
wins. How about we do that? We'll do a victory lap.
Happy to.
That'd
Love
be
to.
wonderful. So don't forget, guys, you can vote right now today. You can go to a library. If you're listening on Saturday or Sunday, same thing. They can still vote then, right?
On Saturday, not Sunday. Saturday and Sunday both.
No,
Not
Saturday and
Monday.
Sunday, not Monday, because then you got to wait till Tuesday
Yep.
if you do that. But we want to encourage you guys to get out there and vote. And if you've never voted in this election, it's a great thing to do. Do a little research on your ballot before you get there. But if you just walk in and vote Jim Wimsatt for judge, you've done your job.
You've done your job.
That's it, God. Jim, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you all for having me. This is great. And win or lose, I'm happy to come back. I'd love to talk to you all some more about family law and kind of issues with family law and what's going on in the courts.
I love it. Thank you.
awesome,
Sam?
Jim. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't forget, guys, send us a realtor. Give her a call at...
Yes, 813-755-REAL.
That's right, 755-REAL. Go to LincolnLendingGroup.com after you vote for Jim Wimsatt for judge. We'll see you guys next week. That's
I always
a wrap.
get frazzled when we run out of time,
Awesome.
but no, the best thing is